Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Enterprise Mobility Insights Outlook podcast. I'm Gina Daniel Lee, Vice President, Strategic Alliances and Partnerships here at Stratix. We've got another hot topic for you today. We're going to tackle some of the biggest challenges facing enterprise customers. Some of those things include changing customer expectations to navigating the new normal of remote work and the growing number of mobile devices being deployed across more and more workflows. Today's discussion is going to be around IT burnout. Over the last couple of years, we've taken a really hard turn to remote work, and the need for contactless technology solutions was very difficult. And that's continued with the expansion of mobile devices in the enterprise. IT roles were already one of those that were hard to fill, and it's even harder with today's hot job market. So teams are exhausted, overworked, and quite frankly need a break. So what can you do about it? I know our guest today is going to have some great suggestions. My good friend Ross Homans is back on the podcast with me today. And Ross is Vice President of Operational Programs here at Stratix and one of our go-to guys for thought leadership. Welcome back to the podcast, Ross. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Gina. I appreciate it.
Hey, so just for a refresher, for folks that may not know you, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at Stratix?
Sure. I'm Ross Homans, Vice President of Operational Programs. I've been with the company, I'm in my 26th year. Most of that was on the operations management side of the house. And about 5 years ago, took a role working with our sales team to properly solution opportunities for our customers to make sure we're delivering the right services at the right time, as well as making sure that what it is we are positioning is operationally scalable for our partners who are touching the devices and taking the calls every day.
I love you in that role because I think you're just the perfect fit to kind of bridge that gap between the two. Let's jump into some questions. So finding good folks to fill IT positions is not a new problem, right? And these teams are often stretched really thin. Why is the expansion of mobile devices adding to that fatigue?
From my perspective, I'm seeing a considerable expansion in mobile use cases in the last 2 or 3 years. Everything from buy online, pick up in store to curbside. These are all different initiatives that require different planning, deployment, and life cycle solutions to make sure they work effectively. So the misnomer that adding more mobile devices is just more mobile equipment, it is a falsity. Each one of these use cases needs to be treated independently. So that's just a further tax on an IT staff. An example that we saw pretty clear in the pandemic is when our education customers very quickly went one-to-one with Chromebooks. And the IT staffs that were supporting the schools and the students all of a sudden were overwhelmed with support requests, break fix requests, and needs to quickly deploy Chromebooks to students in the tens of thousands.
We definitely saw some IT burnout during that time for sure. And what do you think are the negative impacts that IT burnout has on the business overall?
Well, first and foremost, from an IT perspective, we see the risk of attrition. When people are burnt out, they're going to want to go find opportunities, and the grass may be always greener with another company. But what it does to the business, I think, is maybe more impactful. That if the IT personnel are stuck doing the plumbing every day, or fighting fires, or waiting for that alarm to come in, they can't be focused on the proactive measures that are going to transform the business through technology.
That's right. How do you think leadership can help with this?
Well, I think leadership can help from a mental health and self-care perspective to make sure that they're reinforcing a work-life balance for their resources. Providing career paths for your folks is important as well, so they've got an ability to grow within the organization. And finally, taking off the mundane tasks that will allow the IT personnel to focus on proactive and fun things that are solving problems through technology. And that, those taking away those mundane tasks may involve things like automation.
So you mentioned automation.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by automate? What could be automated?
Well, what popped into my head was EMM or mobile device management platforms like SODI and VMware and Jamf and Intune that can automatically update mobile devices in the field or make sure that the latest and greatest application is deployed successfully and not interrupting someone's day-to-day job out in the field. And so, having those tools allow you to also secure the devices out in the field.
Can any of those be outsourced?
Yes, yes, and yes. We've seen everything from the procurement and deployment and configuration of technology through the day two break fix, through outsourcing 24/7 help desk support, as well as even outsourcing the administration of that mobile device management platform. Oftentimes, what we've seen with our customers is that the mobile device administration is a very single-threaded operation within an organization, and so there's risk there, right? That if that person leaves for another opportunity, the processes may not be documented, and so outsourcing something as mission critical as mobile device management administration is something that we've seen have a lot of success.
So what are your thoughts on the when, like when you should decide to outsource?
I think it has to do with really taking a look at what you're good at, and determining do you want to build a mobile device lifecycle platform, or do you want to buy it, and kind of what that return on investment may be with building it or leveraging it, leveraging the infrastructure, leveraging the scale, leveraging the systems that are already in place with folks that handle mobile managed services on a day-to-day basis.
But IT teams are often leery of outsourcing, right? Because they believe it's going to take away their internal jobs. Tell us why you think that's wrong.
Yeah. Well, I think it's wrong because it's going to, as we talked about, focusing on the fun stuff, the transformational stuff. We can unburden these resources from what it is that's limiting them through these operational day-to-day type tasks, and have them focus on the things that are going to really move the needle in terms of the bottom line.
So as we're wrapping up, let's talk about best practices for a minute. What are some best practices for picking a mobile managed services provider?
I think you look at the completeness of portfolio. You understand what it is you need, and try to find a partner that you can leverage that has those services and a referenceable customer base that has the visibility tools. We've seen customers, one of our major airline customers, who was concerned about outsourcing because they were afraid they were going to lose visibility into what was going on with their mobile estate. Mm-hmm. And about 3 months later, got a call, and that same person said, I never had visibility like this before, in terms of a visibility portal or automated reporting that's coming out. So, looking at what's important and then making sure that you're going to find a partner that provides that visibility that you need. I think culture fit's another one, Gina. Sorry.
Yeah.
Making sure that as you understand your end user experience, you want to find a partner that matches up very well to delivering that end user experience.
I completely agree with you. The culture culture fit is a huge plus as well, and something that should be considered. So if you'll remember from the last time you and I were together on the podcast, we like to end with some rapid fire questions, and I've got some good ones for you today. Are you ready?
Well, will you bleep out expletives or?
I don't know. It depends on how entertaining they are.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So let's start with the first one. Yep. What's your favorite season of the year and why?
Spring is my favorite season. I'm not a winter person, and coming out of winter, spring's really important to me. Seeing green grass, getting warmer, seeing the flowers bloom. That's my favorite.
I would agree with you. So this next question is, what's your favorite exercise? And knowing that you're an avid golfer, I'm going to have you refrain from saying golf. You got to pick something else.
Well, You'd be wrong, Gina. We've worked together a long time, and that would have been a good answer, but that is not my favorite form of exercise anymore. Now it's pickleball. I'm a pickleball nut.
Love it.
Yeah, playing 4 times a week. Just excellent exercise and community.
That's great. I love that. I have yet to play pickleball, but it is on my list for sure.
All right, well, we'll get something set up.
All right. Where would you travel in time if it was possible?
Oh gosh, like in the DeLorean.
Yes.
Okay. Oh gosh. I'm watching a series called The Serpent Queen, which is about Catherine de Medici in the 1500s in France. So it just looks beautiful the way they've set up the scenery. So I think today I would want to go back and see how the French royalty really lived.
I love it. That would be fun. Let me know if you get there, okay?
Yeah, if I get the DeLorean, I'll let you know.
There you go. Ross, it's always great to have you. Thank you for joining me again today and sharing some of your wisdom with our listeners.
Thanks for having me, Gina. Anytime.
And listeners, if you like what you heard and would like more information or would like to sign up for future episodes, please visit us at stratixcorp.com/podcast to subscribe. We'd also love it if you would rate and leave a review for any podcast that you've listened to or suggest any future topics you would like us to explore. Until next time, thanks for joining us. Goodbye.